morning, good afternoon, depending on where you're located. This is Barre Sculpt. My name is Amanda. Let's go ahead and get started with our work. Let me start our timer here. Go ahead and draw your knees up towards your chest. Core is engaged, using your lower abs to draw your knees even higher. A few more seconds. Just like this, we're going to take it out to a side extension. Same arm, same leg, opposite direction. And 2 and 1. Go ahead and reach to the side. So for today's class, we'll be using a set of light weights. You can also use a set of ankle weights, as you can see I'm currently using. Totally optional. Everything, of course, can be done with just your body weight. Keeping it going, long reaches, same arms, same leg, stretching opposite directions. Let's do one more on each side. From a standing position, a hip opener over to a side lunge. Chin and chest remains high and lifted. Core is engaged. Let's do one more. And then staying low in your squat, feet are wide in your hips, toes are slightly turned out. Bend your knees, bringing your seat close towards your heels, arms out by your side. Reach down, tapping the opposite inside ankle. Chin and chest remains lifted. Knees remain bent. One more on each side. And then staying low in your squat, arms forward in a windmill motion, chest is lifted. Shoulders remain stacked over your hips. And then go ahead and reverse that direction. Chin and chest again remains nice and lifted. Relax your shoulders down from your ears. Staying low in your squat, slightly hinge forward at your waist. Give yourself a nice big hug and then squeeze your shoulder blades so that as you open up the arms, reaching your fingertips closer towards the ceiling. Few more breaths here. Come on down to a runner's lunge. Left leg forward, pressing into that left knee, opening up your right hip. Chin and chest remains lifted. Draw your hips back as you straighten your front left leg. Maybe point and flex your left toes. Maybe circle out that ankle, whatever feels good for you today. And then gently switching on your next exhale. Right foot steps forward, big step forward, pressing forward into the hips. Opening up your left hip on this side. Straightening your front right leg as you draw your hips back. Maybe point, flex your toes, circle out your ankle, whatever feels good to you on this side. Come on up to a standing position. Nice and relaxed shoulders. Let's go ahead and grab our set of light weights today. I'm using 1 pound. You can go heavier, you can go lighter, you can do without the weights entirely. Let me reset our time here so we make sure we get the full 60 seconds. From here, working with just the right leg, we have a right leg diagonally steps back with a reverse chest fly. Soft bend in your elbows, core is engaged, grounding through the sole of your left foot, keeping that soft bend in your left standing knee. Just the right leg steps back to diagonal, arms open, slightly hinge forward at your waist, core is engaged. Strong point through your right toes. Keeping it going just like this. Right leg steps back to diagonal. Working that outer right glute. Still going, still moving. You got this. Few more just like this, then we're going to switch sides. Last 10. Big inhales, big exhales. You got it. For 3, 2, and 1. Come back to center, maybe shake it out. We have the exact same thing on the left side. So still slightly hinging forward, soft bending your elbows, stepping back diagonally with the left leg. Still that soft bend in your elbows, arms open, arms closed. As you extend that left leg back, strong point through your left toes. Core remains engaged, allowing you to keep that slightly hinge forward. Of course, you can work from a more upright position, limiting your range of motion. Left leg steps back to diagonal, keeping that soft bend in your standing right knee. Shoulders relax. Avoid scrunching your shoulders up towards your ears. Still going, still moving. You got this. Warming up the shoulders, warming up the corners of your chest, warming up the outer left seat on this side. Grounding through your right leg. Keeping it going, a few more just like this, and we're going to add some movement in. Finish up wherever you're at, shake it out. From here, we're going to step out to the right side, right lateral lunge. Come back to standing, right knee up, left arm reaches up overhead. So just left arm, right leg is moving, grounding through your left foot. You can, of course, add that step in between, stepping to your left foot, left knee raises high, left arm raises high, and reaching back down. Keeping it going, slow and controlled movements here, moving with your breath. Using your lower abs to draw that knee even higher. Lateral lunge, left arm steps to the inside of your right foot. As you come to standing, draw that right knee high, point the toes, left arm reaches up overhead. Few more on this side, and then we will switch to work the left leg. Finish up wherever you're at. Go ahead and come to the right side here, and now we have the left leg. Left leg steps out, lateral lunge. Right hand steps down. Step or come right into your left knee drive. Point the toes. Right arm reaches up overhead. If you can control it, flow just from the lateral lunge into your passe. Keeping it going. Left lateral lunge. Right hand taps the inside of your left foot. Stepping or flowing right to your high knee drive. Strong point through your left toes. Keep it going. Core remains engaged. You got this. Looking so strong. Still going. Still moving. Yes, you can. Really press your hips back and that side lunge. Core is engaged to allow you to drive your left knee even higher. Give me one more wherever you're at. Go ahead and come down to a wide stance. We're going to bend deep into that right knee. So we're coming into that lateral lunge, holding it here on the right side. Set one weight down if you're using two. With one weight, we're going to pass that weight around our right ankle, maybe our right calf, our right knee, or our thigh, reaching for whatever we can. Keeping your chest nice and low. Chin is lifted off of your chest. Keep it going, grounding through your left pinky toe, grounding through the sole of your entire right foot, deep bend in your right knee, straight left leg, hips are pressed back. Keeping it going, little circles, maybe around your thigh, your knee, your calf, your ankle, whatever you can reach for. Few more here, keeping it going, couple more breaths, then we're gonna switch sides. Yes, you can. Sit your hips an inch or two lower. All right, come on up to standing. Maybe shake it out. Bend deep into that left knee. Straighten your right leg. Still with that one weight around your legs. Reaching for your calf. Reaching for your thigh, your knee, your ankle, whatever you can today. Grounding through the sole of your left foot. Pressing through your right pinky toes. Core is engaged. Press your hips back. Sink your hips lower. Still going. Relax your shoulders. Relax your eyebrows. Keeping it going. We're going to come back to a standing position and grab that second weight. You still got a few more breaths here. Keeping it going. Passing that single weight around your ankle, your calf, your knee, your thigh, whatever you can reach today. Sink lower, hips deeper. Come on up to standing, grab that second weight, draw your heels together, toes are apart, we're coming to first position. You can stay on flat feet, you can come to low heels, or you can come up to your tippy toes. Whether you are in low heels or tippy toes, draw your heels together and then bend your knees, coming into a first position, tucking your hips under so your shoulders stacked over your hips. Soft bend in your elbows. We have alternating crossbody raises as you hold that low first position plie. Keeping it going. Heels pressed in together. Whether your feet are flat, you're in low heels, or you're on your tippy toes. Core is engaged. Still going. Still moving. Doing what you can. Chest is lifted. Palms are facing upwards. Soft bend in your knees. You got this. Way to stick with it. Keeping it going. Almost there. We're going to add some movement with the knees next. So go ahead and bring your arms straight down. Palms are facing towards your body, down towards the floor. From here, we're going to straighten the legs. Still on those hippy toes, low heels or feet flat. From here, we're going to bend the knees deep as we raise the arm to shoulder level and then come back down. Slow and controlled. Most important thing is you want your shoulders to remain stacked over your hips. Imagine you're sliding down a wall directly behind you. So as you bend your knees, your arms raise forward, palms remain facing down, chest is lifted, relax your shoulders, slow it down as much as you need to. We're not going for speed. You got this. High heels, low heels, or feet flat. Doing what you can. 10 more seconds here, just like this. Slow and controlled. Almost there. All right, go ahead and shake it out. Bring your feet hip width apart and parallel, still with one leg in each hand if you have it. We're going to send that right leg back. Straight right leg, strong point through your toes. Slightly hinge forward your waist so your core is engaged to allow you to hinge forward. Draw the palms in towards one another. We have a right leg lift and lower with a narrow row. So keeping that 90-degree bend in your elbows, core is engaged, right leg lifts, right leg lowers. We're working the base of that right seat as you lift and lower. Still going, still moving. Keeping that soft bend in your standing left knee, grounding through the entire foot of your left leg. Of course, you can work from a more upright position or hold onto a wall, a chair, or a couch. Just notice that when you're more upright, that back leg isn't going to lift as far. Less range of motion without the hinge. Finish up wherever you're at. Set that right leg down. Maybe shake it out. This time, extend your left leg straight back. Soft bend your standing right knee. Point the toes, straight left leg. Arms close into your sides. Same thing on the left side. Lift and lower. So as your arms lift, your left back leg lifts up, squeezing the bottom side of your left glute. Keep it going, grounding through the sole of your right foot, keeping that bend in your right knee. Of course, you can hold on to a chair, a ledge, or a bar if you have one. Working from a more upright position, keeping it going, adding in that row, single arm or both. You got this. Keeping it going, lift and lower. Few more breaths, just like this. Still going, still moving, elbows higher, leg higher for 2 and 1. Finish up where you're at, still with those weights. Go ahead and bring your feet wider than your hips, toes are turned out. Bend your knees, coming low into a wide second plie. Reach your arms out by your side, palms are facing forward. We're going to alternate, raising and lowering the heels as we bend both of our elbows to 90. So your wrists are stacking over your elbows. Your elbows are staying shoulder height. Alternating, raising and lowering your heels. Working those calf muscles. Working those shoulders. One more time. I can't promise it'll be the last time. You got this. Core is engaged. Maybe sink your hips an inch or two lower. Get lower. Get your hips deeper. Shoulders are stacked over your hips. Core is engaged. We're going to hold both those tippy toes up in 7. Yes, you can. Come lower on your hips. Higher on your tippy toes. Last one. Readjust if you need to. Come onto both your tippy toes. Still with your arms out by your side. Palms are facing down this time. Tiny circles. It does not matter which direction you start with. We will do the opposite direction when we get halfway. I'll let you know. No worries. You got this. Lower hips. Higher heels. Chest is lifted. Chin lifted off of your chest. Keeping that airway nice and open. Tiny circles. Go ahead and reverse the direction. Yes, we are halfway. You got this. Palms remain facing down. Tiny circles. Little movements here. Arms straighter. Avoid wobbling. If you need to, lower your heels. Yes, you can. Almost there. Last 7. Stick with it. Breathe through it. Don't hold your breath. Last one. Release your arms down. Go ahead and bring your feet back to hip width apart. Feet are facing towards one another so they're parallel. We're going to draw the arms out to a 90-degree angle. From here, sink your hips low, and we're going to alternate lowering and raising the heels as we press the same arm up. So as you come onto the tippy toe, the same hand raises. Right tippy toe, right arm, left tippy toe, left arm. Palms are facing away from your body. Chest remains lifted. Keeping it going. Yes, you can. Almost there. Elbows raise high, and then elbows come back to shoulder height. Still going, still moving. Same heel, same arm presses. Last 3, 2, and 1. From here, we're going to keep our feet hip width apart. Rise high on your tippy toes, bend your knees down. Elbows at a 90-degree bend. We're going to extend and bend the arms. So palms are still facing away from us, trying to stay high on the tippy toes. Of course, you can lower your heels to low heels or flat feet at any time. And if you'd like, you can always come back to tippy toes whenever you're ready. Keeping it going. Chest is lifted, shoulders relaxed, eyebrows relaxed, higher tippy toes, hips lower. Keeping it going. You got it. We're going to come down onto the floor next. Doesn't mean it's going to be easy. You got this. Few more breaths just like this. Relax your shoulders. They tend to scrunch up the longer you're doing this move for. Higher heels, lower hips for 2 and 1. Whew. Maybe roll out your shoulders forwards and backwards. Go ahead and find a tabletop position. So your wrists are under your shoulders, knees are under your hips. Tuck your toes and then lift your hips up. Then we're going to come down onto our forearms. So we're going to come into a dolphin position here. We're going to lift the heels and lower the heels. Core is engaged. Your forearms are down. Your palms are flat. Gaze is down between your forearms. You can also gaze between your navel, maybe towards your kneecaps. Heels raise and heels lower. Your heels do not have to touch the floor. Keeping it going. We're going to come laying onto our right side next. You got this. Dolphin pose, heels raise and lower. Keeping those hips piked up super high. Heels raise and lower. Gently release your knees down to the floor. From here, go ahead and come laying onto your right side, laying onto your right elbow. We're going to have the knees bent. Knees are about hip height, maybe a little bit lower, maybe a little bit higher. Left elbow wide behind the head. We're going to lift the hips as we kick the left top leg forward and then come back down. So just resting on your right forearm as you lift your hips, lifting your top knee and kicking the left foot forward, strong point through your toes. This is where you'll really feel that ankle weight if you have it on. If not, no worries. We'll always use them in future classes as well. Core remains engaged here. Hips lift, left knee lifts, left leg kicks forward, and then lowering everything down. Keeping it going. We're going to add some core here. Go ahead and finish up where you're at, releasing everything down. Still from this position, with your right hand on the floor, you can grab a weight with your left hand. Extend your legs out long so your body is in a V shape. From here, we're going to lift the legs up to a V and maybe tapping your left hand to your left foot. So that right leg stays hovering. Core is engaged. You're also going to feel it a lot more here if you use those weights, maybe ankle weights, maybe your top left hand, keeping it going, balancing on that right hip bone. Still going, still moving. Hips lift, hips lower, legs come out to that V. You got this. You are so close. Keeping it moving. Hips lift, hips lower, keeping that right leg to a hover. All right, from here, set that weight down. Go ahead and place both of your hands underneath your shoulders. From here, we're gonna come into a push-up as we extend that left leg back. So that left leg is hovering, push up, elbows remain close into your body. As you extend that top left leg back, core is engaged, keeping it going. Left leg kicks straight back, and then drawing, maybe think about drawing your left knee in toward your left elbow as you come up to straight arms, keeping that left knee hovering your right, keeping that tension on. Almost there. Still going, still moving. You got this. Wide arms, press down, release up. Give me one more wherever you're at. Come on up to straight arms. We're gonna find our tabletop again. So wrists are directly under your shoulders, knees are under your hips. We're gonna extend that left leg straight back. Still working that left side. Your wrists directly under your shoulders. We're gonna bend the elbows. Elbows stay close into your body, and then press up. So your left leg stays extended, strong point through your left leg. Working the total body, working your shoulders, working your back, working your triceps, working your core, your lower glutes, strong point through the toes. Seesaw with your body as your nose, maybe your chin, your forehead, maybe they gently touch the floor, maybe they just come close. Your left leg kicks up high, left leg straighter, toes more pointed, keeping it going. Almost there, last 5. All right, finish up wherever you're at. Keeping that left leg extended, tuck your right toes. So with your hands planted into the floor underneath your shoulders. From here, we're gonna pike our hips up to a single leg down dog and then back down. Maybe your right knee taps. Maybe you hold it in that bear pose to a hover. Straighter left leg. Point the toes. Core remains engaged. Almost there. You got the single leg down dog, coming back to a single leg bear, maybe single leg tabletop. Almost there. Keeping it going. We're gonna rest that right knee in 15. Just give me a few more. Focusing on your breaths, focusing on your breathing, focusing on your core. Yes, you can. Last 3, 2, and 1. From the exact same position, keeping that left leg extended, keeping it lifted to hip height, maybe higher, maybe a little bit lower. We're just gonna bend and extend that left leg. Not going for speed here, slow and controlled. Strong point through your left toes. Bend your knee as deep as you can. Maybe drawing your left heel close into your left glute, and then extend it straight, taking out any little bend that you might have. Embrace the pinch in your left glute as you extend that leg straight, flexing your hamstrings as you extend and bend. Keeping it going. Almost there. We're gonna hold that left knee bent in just a few more. Core is engaged. Nice flat back. Avoid arching your spine or hammocking your belly. Keeping your back nice and flat, no rounding of the back. Last one, come deep into that bend. Hold that 90-degree bend. Your left knee is hip height, maybe higher, maybe a little bit lower. From here, we're gonna press up. Toes pressing up, tiny press kicks. Think about pressing your toes up towards the ceiling. Maybe you're pressing so hard you feel like they could touch. Keeping it going. Left toes up towards the ceiling. Gazes down between your pinky and your index fingers. Almost there. You got this. Tiny presses. We're gonna come back, laying onto that right side next. Same thing here, core is engaged. So really think about drawing your navel deep into your spine. Relax that right leg. We'll get into the right side soon enough. Keeping it going. Almost there. Last laying onto your right side. Just like we're getting nice and cozy, laying at the beach. Extend that bottom right leg. Draw your left leg behind your right. From here, you can have your left hand front on your hip or behind your head. We're just gonna lift and lower, lifting the entire leg and the hip. Keeping it going, straighter right leg. Keeping it going, balancing here. Core is engaged. Slow it down as much as you need to. Lift and lower, grounding through the back sole of your left foot. So your left tippy toes aren't coming up. Nice grounded through your left foot. Right leg lift, right leg lower. Keeping it going. Almost there. Last 3, 2, and 1. Release your right hip down. Go ahead and draw your knees in. Still lay on your right forearm. Left elbow wide behind the head. We're going to crunch up with a lifted opening clamshell. So lots of movement here. So you can also just work from a clamshell with your feet flat on the floor. You can also work from a lifted clamshell, keeping your feet lifted. You can also work on lifting your feet as you open your knees, opening the outer hip pocket. If you'd like to add on the crunch, as you lift the knees, lifting the feet, draw your top left elbow down towards your left knee. Core is engaged. Keeping it going. A few more just like this. Slow and controlled, working that left oblique, working your outer left seat pocket, inner and outer thighs. Toes stay glued together. Go ahead and hold it here. Go ahead and come on up to your right hand. We're going to lift that top left leg. We're going to slide it forward and slide it back. So think about keeping that knee hip height, keeping it above your bottom right leg, just the left leg. Move forward and back. You can have your left hand rested in front. You can have behind your head, on your hip, whatever works for you. Strong point through your left toes. Keeping it going. Almost there. We're going to lay on our back next. Getting a few ab workouts before switching to the other side. Just working that left side, working that outer left hip pocket, working the inner and outer thighs, working the left glute. You got this for 5. Point the left toes more. Last one. Release everything down. Go ahead and roll onto your back. Draw your heels together towards your glutes, soles of your feet together. Elbows are wide behind your head. We're going to crunch up. Maybe your elbows tap your knees. Maybe they just come close. And then release down. So full body butterfly crunch. Elbows are wide. Knees are wide. Crunching your upper body down towards your navel. Crunching your knees up towards your elbows. And then releasing everything down. Controlled movements. Yes, you can. Keeping it going. Moving with control. Moving with intention. You got this. Almost there. Full body crunch. Give me 10 more, just like this. Full crunch. Maybe reaching those elbows further down towards your knees. Knees further up towards your elbows. Last one. Go ahead and rest your head down. We're going to draw the hands down by your side. They won't stay there. Extend your legs long in opposite directions. And then lift your right leg to a hover. We're going to draw the left leg up, reach for the toes, and then switch. So as the right leg is up towards the ceiling, left leg is long to a hover. Reach up to your right toes, and then switch. So arms are reaching up towards the leg that's up towards the ceiling. Legs straighter. Stronger point through your toes. Reaching your hands further. Lifting your shoulders higher. You can always rest that leg down if you prefer not to hover it. You can also keep your shoulder blades down the entire time. Keeping it going. Few more just like this. I did not forget about our right side. We will do that next. Keep it going. One leg lifts, one leg hovers. Draw your knees into your chest for just a moment before rocking on up and then coming onto your left side. From here, go ahead and come on down to your left forearm. Now we have the left side. Knees are bent, knees are hip height, right elbow behind your head. We're gonna lift the hips and then draw the right leg up, out in front, strong kick. Strong point through your toes, getting that right leg higher, that right leg straighter, toes more pointed, hips lifted, lifting from your bottom hip, using the obliques, using your core, relaxing your left side. That leg already did the work. Now we're working the right side. Keeping it going. Left hip lifts, right leg extends, strong point through the toes. Keeping it going all the way to the bitter end. All right, finish up where you're at. If you would like, grab that weight in your right hand, extend your legs so your body is in a V shaped. From here, we're gonna hover the legs, and then we're gonna lift that top leg up, pointing the toes. Maybe you tap your right hand to your right leg. Maybe it just comes super close. Still keeping your left forearm onto the floor. If you can, lift that left leg a little bit higher, keeping it hovering. Right ankle taps down to left very gently, and then reaches back up. Keep it going, keeping it moving, controlled movements. You got it. Core is engaged, working that right oblique. Almost there. Keeping it going. Almost there. Moving with control. All right, go ahead and set that weight down. Go ahead and bring your palms into the floor, wrists are under your shoulders. We have that right leg extends back. From here, we're just gonna lift the right leg as we come into a wide arm push-up, almost like our body is a seesaw. Right leg lifts, straighter right leg, strong point the toes, elbows bend wide, core is engaged, keeping it going. Almost there. You got this. Maybe reaching your forehead, your nose, your chin closer to the floor, elbows wider. Last 5. All right, go ahead and come to your tabletop position. We're gonna do the same thing with our elbows under, with your wrists under your shoulders. Extend your right leg back, strong point through your toes. We're gonna keep the elbows tucked in this time as we extend our right leg up, keeping it going. Seesawing that body one more time. Maybe kissing the mat beneath you as you lift your hips up, your right leg up, stronger point through the toes, straighter right leg, keeping it going. Almost there. You got this. All the way to the very end. Of course, you can grab a sip of water anytime if you need it. You got it. Moving with control, moving with intention. Give me a few more just like this. Then we're going to tuck our left toes. All right, finish up wherever you're at. Go ahead and draw your right leg down. We're going to tuck our left toes, and we're going to extend our right leg back. Left knee is hovering if you can, or you can also keep it down to a tabletop. We're going to tuck the hips up as we pike up into a single leg down dog, and then draw our left knee down. So your right leg is completely still. Straighter right leg, stronger point through your toes. Hips lift, toes up towards the ceiling, hips lower with your left knee coming closer to the ground. Maybe it taps, maybe it just comes to a hover, grounding through both palms, keeping it going. Almost there. You got this. We're gonna hold it in that tabletop. Just give me 2 more, just like this. Right leg lifts and lowers. 1 more. Finish up wherever you're at. Gently release your left knee down. Maybe shake your hips out. Keep your right leg extended, straighter right leg, strong point through your toes, hips are facing down. We're gonna bend your right heel close in towards your glute and then extend. So you're keeping your right knee lifted. Core is engaged. Think about your hips as headlights, facing down towards the mat, gazing down between your thumb and index finger to avoid straining your neck, looking from side to side. Keep your core engaged. Back is flat, so avoid hammocking or arching your back. Avoid rounding your spine by keeping your core super engaged, super tight. Keeping it going. We're gonna hold that knee bent, the next one. Wherever you're at, hold that right knee bent, stronger point through the toes. From here, tiny presses up. Think about pressing your toes closer towards the ceiling. Hips are facing down, so limited range of motion. Tiny presses up. Toes up, knee down, keeping it going. Hips are facing down towards the floor. Tiny presses up. Relax that left side. Avoid leaning into your left leg. Keep it going. Just the top shoelace portion of your left foot is pressed into the floor. Keeping it going. Toes higher. Maybe getting that right knee higher. Small range of motion. You got this. You get to come down, laying onto your left side next. Almost there. A few more just like this. All right, give me one more. Tiny press up, release back down. Release your right knee. Come on down to your left forearm. From here, extend your left leg long and then draw that right foot back behind your left. Feet is grounded, your foot is grounded into the floor. You can lift your hips up and then lifting your bottom left leg up as well. Maybe you tap this time. Maybe you continue to hover. You can point or flex your left toes, lifting and lowering. Most important thing is that back right leg is flat on the floor. You're not on a tippy toe. Your heel isn't lifted, your toes aren't raised. Keeping it going. Raise and lower. Tiny movements here. You got it. Still going. Last one. Go ahead and bend your knees. We're going to keep our feet close. Option one is just a clamshell. Open and close the knees. Option two is to lift your legs. As you simultaneously open your hips, you can also hold the legs lifted for a lifted clamshell. You can also add in that crunch if you'd like to add some core. Everybody loves core. Top elbow to top knee, trying to keep your feet lifted. Maybe your hip opens even higher. Keeping it going. Controlled movement here. You got it. Yes, you can. Working that right oblique. Right elbow wide behind the head. Toes are lifted. Your toes stay glued together the entire time. Last 5, 3, 2, and 1. From here, come on up to your left hand. You can just place your right hand on your hip. We're going to lift that top right leg. Knee stays bent. We're going to slide it forward and slide it back. Noticing the difference on this side, if there is one. Completely normal to have different movements on different sides of your body. Most important thing is you want to keep that knee above your bottom knee. You want to keep your top ankle in line with your top knee. So it's almost like it's sliding across a tabletop, forwards and backwards. Maybe you can push it further back on this side. Maybe you can draw the knee further up this side. Keeping it going. We're going to come on to our bum next. You got this. Slide it forward, slide it back, almost there. We are so close. For 3, 2, and 1. Release that leg down. Go ahead and come onto your bum. We're gonna lift our heels, or you can keep them flat. From here, we're gonna bring our arms out in front. If your feet are lifted, we're gonna go from side to side as we angle our knees. If your feet are flat, you can still go from side to side, angling the knees. Sink your shoulders closer towards the floor. Keeping it going. Think about really coming low with your shoulders, whether your feet are lifted or they're flat on the floor. Your legs can be glued together, one long line. You can also have them hip width apart. Keeping it going. Controlled movements here. Almost there. Straighter arms. Core is engaged, shoulders lower. Get even deeper. Last 3, 2, and 1. Release down. Go ahead and roll onto your back. Draw your knees into your chest. If you have ankle weights on, this is the time to go ahead and take them off. If you didn't, again, no worries whatsoever. We will incorporate the ankle weights in several more classes so you didn't miss out. Draw your knees into your chest. Roll your knees from side to side. And then when you're ready, come through center and rock and roll yourselves a few times like a ball. Knees curled into your chest. Nice spinal stretch here. Before coming up to a seated position, roll as many times as you'd like. When you find your seated position, extend your right leg long. Draw your left sole of your foot into your right leg. Draw your right hand down to the inside of your right leg. Left arm reaches up overhead, keeping your chin and chest lifted. Stretching that left side of your body, elongating your oblique. And then draw your left arm down, placing your right hand to the outside of your right leg, bringing your nose to knee, heart to thigh, chest comes down. Maybe point, flex your toes. And then gently roll up on your next exhale. Extend your left leg long. Draw the sole of your right foot into your left thigh. Gently releasing your left arm to the inside of your left leg. Right arm reaches up overhead, keeping your chin and chest lifted on this side. Keeping everything symmetrical. Nice long stretch along the right side body. On your next exhale, gently bring your right hand down to the inside of your left leg. Left arm comes to the outside of your left leg, and then stretch further. Heart closer towards your knee. Chest is down. Maybe point and flex your left toes. Gently roll up on your next exhale. Draw both soles of your feet in towards one another, coming into a wide-legged fold. Maybe flap your knees. Back is nice and tall. If you would like a lower back stretch, go ahead and extend your legs out so they're more of a diamond shaped than keeping your heels drawn in. So your heels are pressing further away from your sit bones. Go ahead and place your hands under your calves and then place the palms of your hands on top of the shoelace portion of your feet. Elongate your body and then draw your forehead down toward your toes. Maybe your forehead, your nose, or your chin touches your big toes. Maybe you just feel like you can. That's where I'm at. Totally fine. Hold it here for one more breath. And on your next exhale, gently releasing everything down, rolling on up. Roll your shoulder blades back. Roll them forward. Come on up to a standing position with your feet wider than your hips. Come on down for a nice big inhale and exhale. Let's do one more for good luck. Arms sweep up overhead. Fantastic work, everyone. Again, my name's Amanda. I hope you all enjoyed as much as I did. Catch you next time. Have a fantastic weekend, everybody. Thank you.